Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our 2 newly released books, Football, a Love Story, and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, here at Dartmouth's Pro Day with Dalyn Williams, outstanding quarterback. And Dalyn, you had a great workout today. What were some things you want to accomplish today out here in front of these scouts and NFL personnel decision makers?
I think today I wanted to accomplish just that I'm a good athlete and that I can throw the football. And I think in our testing I did pretty well in that aspect of being athletic. And I think it was only like 3 incompletions throughout that whole throwing ordeal, but I think it was a successful day. I prepared really hard. I'm really excited about the future. So those are the things I wanted to expel. I wanted to expel, obviously, I measured today at 5, I think 10 3/4, but I'm not worrying about that. I just I wanted to show I can throw football and play quarterback.
Well, number one, for the folks out there, I'm 5'10", so he's 5'11". It just wanted to, the NFL height is something unique. I probably would measure at 5'6" if I was to measure at the NFL height. But you mentioned 3 incompletions, and that to me speaks to your accuracy and what you're able to do out there on the field. I was at the Cornell game, and you dropped dime after dime after dime, and just going back and watching your film over the season, you see the same things. How are you able to be consistently accurate on the football field in the midst of all the chaos that happens?
I think first and foremost, your priority is to watch film and understand what the defense is doing. What kind of front they have, what blitzes they bring. What coverage is behind certain blitzes, their personnel, who's their weakest corner, who's their weakest linebacker in coverage, and just to understand that going into the game. And I think secondly, working with your coaches is to understand your drops and your footwork, because your feet are tied to the rest of your body, and that helps you to be more accurate. So I think coming to college, my big deal was to clean up my footwork. And that cleaned up my accuracy as well. And
you did get better each and every season, and it culminated in an Ivy League championship here at Dartmouth, first one since '92, I believe. And when you look at your overall career, going from high school to college to now going to the NFL, what preparation do you believe you had to make, or adjustments you had to make outside of your footwork? Because I know going from high school to college was a big adjustment on the field, but to play the quarterback position, I think that speaks to a lot of what you have to do mentally to really get prepared to play.
I think my adjustments coming into college were, one, the read routes, was picking up on the coverage and knowing where your receiver's breaking and getting to them at a timely manner. I think second was I'm extremely competitive, and sometimes I may lash out. I did that in high school, yell at guys and get on them because I hate to lose, and I just had to tone that down and make sure my body language was in a positive manner. My feedback was positive to my teammates, and I think lastly, to add to that point, was trust. You see, even on film, me trusting my teammates more and more, and I think just coming here, and I always thought. I was better than the normal Ivy League player, and I didn't early uplift my teammates to my level. I think that was the problem that I did, and I spoke with one of my coaches, Coach Hankton. He's with Vanderbilt right now, but he told me always uplift those guys and have them come to your level. So I was able to trust them more and throw balls earlier and make quick decisions.
And the good part about that is you mentioned Coach Cortez Hankins. We went to high school together. So small world, by the way. Right? Small world. New Orleans in the house, by the way. Small world. But and I think that's important because you have you mentioned Ivy League level. I think that talent has risen each and every season. I've been covering football since 2007. Plus, you have the academic workload. Now to combine both and still to be able to produce at a high level, do you think on the field a lot of players tend to overthink things and are not as focused, but you're able to zero focus in on your task at hand and still be able to be effective. Do you think you see that a lot with guys? Let's just say at this level, at the Ivy League level, because I know of the academic workload is strenuous.
Well, I would say, I think the difference between Ivy League and the rest of football, well, I mean, it's still Division I, first and foremost. Guys want to knock it, but it's Division I football. These guys are pretty good athletes, and the difference between Ivy League and other leagues is the depth. You see, you might have a pretty good athlete across from you at cornerback, but the backup is not as good as he is, nowhere near. So, and also the combination of size and speed. But I think, zoning in, I think it was just the goal I had coming into college. I don't think people come to the Ivy League wanting to go to the league, and I give all the credit to my parents. My mom and dad really stress academics, and that when the opportunity came, to have an Ivy League degree as a backup plan was something that I think would set me up, for the future. So I think that's why I came here, and I think I made the right decision.
And hopefully an NFL team makes the right decision as well, because one thing we put out a whole book on football myths, right? And there's a bunch of things we could talk about, from level of competition to playing at home or away matters, when really it doesn't, and there's a big one that is the big elephant in the room. What's one of the biggest myths you want to just throw out there and dispel in front of, for people down the line, for the next Dalyn Williams coming up?
I think, first is the height. I think, I know I'm 5'11", but I've been this size my whole life. I figured out how to play at this size. I think what people do is they try to limit someone over what someone else is capable of doing at that size, right? You should look at every individual prospect individually and grade them as such. And I just wanted to dispel my height. I can see over the line, through the line, actually. I don't think 6'4" quarterbacks see over the line. Those are some big guys in front of us. So I think I want to dispel that, my size. Guys are going to measure my hand size was 8 3/4. And guys are going to look at that and go, always below the NFL average. But, Tony Romo's 8 7/8, Vic's 8 1/2. I've played with this hand my whole life. And I think, not to be arrogant, but I have a record for the least number of passes picked in the collegiate career. So, I've taken care of the football. If hand size tells you anything about accuracy, I think I did pretty well with that in the collegiate level. So that's it. And I think also you want to set a goal and work hard, and don't let anybody knock you. Just continue on the goal and focus and work hard.
We definitely did that, and you had a great career here at Dartmouth, and we wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Appreciate it. Thank you.